Hey, beautiful. Miss Beautiful. I want to take you out for a nightcap. Is that cool? Hey, beautiful.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to episode 2. Today, we're going to be talking about dating with children. What happens when you are dating somebody and they don't like your kids? What happens if you're a single mom and you want to get back in the dating scene? Now, you may say it's hard, but it's not hard. Watch this video and let's talk about it, baby. So, story time. After I had my daughter, I honestly decided to dedicate, I'm like a lot of you guys, I decided to dedicate really my life in just being a good parent, being an amazing parent. And I went back to school, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't think I would have went back to school if I didn't have my kid. So I decided to go back to school. I decided to honestly be a better person, a better woman when I got pregnant. And the reason why is because I chose to make sure, I put myself in a situation, I owe everything to my child. And I'm like most of you mothers who, when you have a child, it has nothing to do with the other parent. It has everything to do with I chose to keep my baby, and I chose to make sure the next 18 years of this person's life is going to be amazing, right? And I refuse to not let anyone, no one, not my mama, not my daddy, not my best friend, not her daddy, not my cousin, not my uncle, no one get in the way of me being a great parent. And when you have this mindset of wanting to be a good parent and have a mindset of really just pouring everything that you have into your kids, you find yourself putting you last, right? You find yourself always putting them first because you feel like you owe them this because they didn't ask to be here, but they're here. And with them being here is a blessing. But I also feel like because I put so much time, energy, when I tell you, I decided not to get a 2-door coupe because it was hard to put a car seat in and out the back seat, right? I decided to not have roommates because I wanted my daughter to have the freedom to kind of roam around the house and be whatever she wanted to be. I decided to put dating on the back burner because I didn't want my kid to ever have to compete with any man, and I didn't want any man to feel like I would ever choose them over my kid. And I know a lot of you guys say that is a terrible mindset to have. But if you're a mother and a father, I'm guarantee you that some of you guys think exactly how I think. I do not want to put time into anybody when I know this is my responsibility. I have to put time and effort into my kid or my kids, right? And for me, that's what I did. I did that. My kid legit made me a better person. And with her being 10, going on 11 in a couple of days, that is my mission. It's always been my mission. But let's talk about this. Story time. Y'all gonna laugh at this one. So I was dating this guy, off and on for a little bit over 4 years. And we dated for a while, and I met him around my daughter was 5 years old. And he gave me under the impression that he wanted kids, he loved kids was great, that he had no problem in my kid being around and me being a great mom. But I noticed that if my kid wanted to lay in the bed with me, or cuddle or come in the room, he would find himself I would hear him huffing and puffing. I would hear him say that, you know, why she can't sleep in her own bed, or you know, or he wouldn't want to come over, or he would leave the room. And back in my mind, it was like this is her house, like this is her bed, I'm her mother, this is, you feel me? And but because I was trying to accommodate him and also accommodate being a mom, I was just trying to figure all this out. Of course, I let my kid, you know, be whatever she wanted to be, because that's her house, and you can't tell her otherwise. Hello. So I felt like me and him, we argued back and forth a lot about what he thought my kid should do and what he felt like his place was. But he ain't put no ring on his finger. Like, you ain't got no say so. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, hello? And I felt like her being as young as she was, I felt like it's this thing called, like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. I just felt like he could have went about things a little different, right? But anyways, we stayed together for, you know, a couple years after that. And I noticed that, like, he literally would get jealous of my kid. Like, literally, like, swear to God, like, it's a thing. Like, put in the comments below if you ever dated somebody and they were honestly jealous of your kid. Like, he never verbally said, I am jealous of your kid, but the way his actions was, you can clearly see that there was some tension there, deeper than I thought. And as his woman, I try my best to make sure that I talk to him, you know, and like I said, whenever I would bring things up, ask him how things are going, he will always say, I love your kid, I think your kid is amazing, blase, 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 but his actions was, right? And so me and my child's father, we share custody, you know what I'm saying, my daughter. So my child's father would get my child every other week. And I noticed, like, he would get mad because I couldn't hang out every weekend. But I'm like, if you my man and you know that my daughter means the world to me, because I made it very clear in the beginning of us rocking that she goes to that house on this weekend. So if I feel like if I'm dating somebody and you trying to get to know me, right? And you know the days that my daughter go to school or she sleep or she go to dad's house, I feel like those are the times, if you like me, you should want to make plans to see me. Like, am I wrong? Like, if you know my kid go to sleep at 8 o'clock, call me at 8:15, call me at 8:30. Like, let's cupcake while she sleep. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand what was the big issue about it, but he just always made it a super big issue. Now, a lot of you guys can say, well, best friend, how do you know he honestly had a problem with dating you completely because of your kid? Well, he cheated a lot. Like, he cheated. And I remember he confided, I got a phone call one day. Hello? Hey, this is whoop whoop ex-wife. And I'm like, why is she calling me? She was like, well, I'm gonna tell you something and you ain't gonna like it. I was like, what? And she was like, you know, I talked to, you know, your boo, your man. I know it's not my place, but I feel like as a woman, you should know this. I'm like, first of all, girl, baby sweetheart, girl, you can't tell me nothing about my man. Who do you think you is? Well, clearly she could, because apparently he confided in her that the reason why our relationship was such on the rocks because the fact that I had a kid, we could never go out to travel, we could never go out, we could never do anything like spur of a moments because my kid was always there. And I remember speaking to him about this because I was furious. And when I confronted him, he did admit that, yeah, like a lot of girls that I do talk to or I did step out on you with, they didn't have any children, they didn't have any responsibility. So it was easier to go to the house or do different things with them because they didn't have to get a babysitter. They didn't have this responsibility. In the back of my mind, I'm thinking, but you knew what you were signing up for. Like, I don't get it. How do you sit there and tell me this, but you knew that I was a single mother when you started dating me? So that goes back to men tell you what they want to hear. Women do it too. Just because they are trying to get close to you. And it's jacked up because I feel like if I would have knew this early in the game and you knew that my world is my kid and you knew that this would have been a problem for you, then why did you move forward in a situation that another man would have loved the opportunity? I just find it crazy for him to act like that my kid wasn't a problem, and clearly it was. Me being a single mom and trying to do this stuff by myself and not having a babysitter. My mom don't watch my kid. You know what I'm saying? My grandma don't watch my kid. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have babysitters on speed dial. You feel me? Shout out to everybody that do. But that ain't my testimony. And he knew this. And because he knew this, it's like, why did you waste my time if that is something that was going to be a problem? So, once again, dating is difficult when you are a single mom or a single dad, because some people are going to tell you that they can handle the fact that you are single and, oh, that doesn't bother me. Oh, I got nieces and nephews. I love kids. But they don't know. It's different when you're actually dating a woman or you're dating a man with children. It's different. You cannot compare the two. I tell anybody that don't have any children, you cannot say, oh, I know what it would be like if I had kids, but you ain't got none. And I know a lot of people say, well, I got nieces and nephews, I got God kids, It's completely different when you have your own. But I get it. When you're trying to date somebody and that person already has a kid, you have to figure out how to merge yourself in their life. I don't feel like the kids have to figure out how to merge into the person's life, right? And I feel like that will happen over time. But I feel like when you're dating a woman or a man that have children, they are a package. Like, in the comments, but hey, man. Like, we are a package. So, like, if you want to rock with me, you got to want to rock with my kid, too. Like, if you want to spend the rest of your life with me, well, you better want to spend the rest of your life with my kid, too. You can't get me without her. Now, I ain't going to try to make it seem like I'm perfect. Because once upon a time, I didn't have no kids. And once upon a time, I was selfish. And you was, too. Before you had kids, you was selfish, too. And one thing about kids, when you have a kid's baby, they make you selfish. You find yourself putting your children before you, baby. And so I remember, oh, don't judge me. I remember I was dating this guy, right? I was living in Vegas. I was dating this guy. He was in the military. He was fine. He was light-skinned. This is when I was into light-skinned dudes back in the days. He was light-skinned. He was tall. He had a little curly top. Curly. And he was fine, right? He was fine. And like, he told me he had a kid or whatever, but he said his kid lived in Arizona. And I'm thinking, I'm in Vegas. We in Vegas. The kid in Arizona. That is a distance, right? And it was rocking. Everything was great, right? I didn't have any children. I was doing my thug thizzle. I was in the streets. You know what I'm saying? I was outside. So I wasn't thinking about being no stepmama to nobody kids. Like, I was with him or whatever. And could I have seen myself potentially being with him? Yes. I just be honest with you, I did not plug the fact that he came with another person. I know that's selfish, but that's what happens when you date somebody with children. Like, I really feel like sometimes people don't think that this person comes with another person, and you have to figure out how you're gonna interact with these people, even if the person's not all the way. Anyways, so one day he hits me up and he goes, "Hey, bae," I was his bae. My son is coming to town. I was like, "All right, well, when your son leave, hit me up." So he was like, nah, like, while my son is out here, I want him to meet you. I'm like, you want him to what? You want him to meet me? I was like, ooh, he want his son to meet me? That means he may think we are getting serious. I thought that was romantic. I was like, okay, bet. We went to meet him. He was like, in about 3 days, when we get settled in or whatever, I think y'all should meet. I'm going to come over and come pull up on you. I was like, pull up on me then. I'm thinking he was going to pull up to the house. I was going to walk outside, say, hey, little man, how you doing? Ooh, high five, you doing good in school? And he was going to drive away. I didn't know he was going to get out the car, walk to my door, sit on my couch with his son. But that's what he did. The little boy instantly started jumping from one couch to another couch, to another couch, to another couch. Then he swagged and surfed across my carpet. Not only did he swag and surf on my carpet, he decided to Spider-Man through my house. I'm daddy or daddy, so I gotta, play my part. Spider-Man, go little man, you better go. You better be the best Spider-Man you can be. I'm playing the part, you know what I'm saying, for daddy. It wasn't until the little boy legit karate chopped my dog. My dog snapped at him and ran underneath the bed. He tried to grab him by his tail. I said, no little Spider-Man. You got to get out the room and go back in and beat up the villains in the living room, little Spider-Man. And he goes, okay, right? Got him out my room. My dog was happy. And I know my dog was over there looking like, Mom, help me, because I wanted to hide underneath the bed too, if you just be honest. But whatever. I stayed in there. I was a good sport. He goes, hey, you want to get some food, whatever, with my son? I was like, bet, let's go. So he was like, you want me to drive? You want me to drive, or you gonna drive? I was like, bet, I'll drive. So we got in the car. He put the little Spider-Man in the car seat. Spider-Man sitting right behind us, like in between the seats. So now, mind you, back in my previous life, I was out here riding dirty. And don't judge me, because y'all be out here riding dirty too. You know, I didn't have no license, no registration, no insurance. I didn't have nothing. And so I knew McDonald's right up the street. So, I didn't really drive far in my vehicles. I get picked up. Hello. So we go down the street, we go to McDonald's, and I see this red, white, and blue in my mirror. And I'm like, dang, the cop about to pull me over. I'm scared, my heart beeping fast, I keep seeing the red, white, and blue, like, oh my God, just pull me over already, because I'm scared, Lord. Nothing happened. So we pull up to McDonald's, and we ordering the food. I see the red, white, and blue. I'm like, did the cop just pull me over in the drive-thru? I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to jail. I look in the rearview mirror. Someone said, look in the back seat. I look in the back seat, and please tell me why this little Spider-Man boy back there clapping his shoes, light up shoes, clap, 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 and the shoes was producing red, white, and blue. When I tell you, I could have threw the little boy and his daddy out my vehicle, but I knew I had to get Spider-Man and his Spider Daddy back to the car, because they gotta go home. So we got the food, got the Spider-Man, his Happy Meal. Spider-Man is happy. Spider Daddy grabbing on my leg, like Spider Daddy about to get something, and Spider Daddy doesn't spot the Spider Kid and stress me out. So Spider Daddy don't even realize Spider Daddy gotta go home. And so I get out the car, whatever. I walk Spider Kid and Spider Daddy to their car. I gave him a hug. And he was like, you want to link up with us tomorrow? I said, nah, tomorrow don't seem like a good idea. Your son is out here for like 2 days. Handle that, buddy. He was like, you sure? I was like, yeah, I'm positive. I was like, I bet. Gave me a 4 kiss on my forehead. I sent, light-skinned dude and Spider-Man on their way. Now, you may say, well, best friend, did you continue to see Spider Daddy? Whenever I had the cobwebs that spurted out the web that needed to be cobbed, I would call Spider Daddy, but that's all I needed Spider Daddy for. And I ain't gonna lie, I did make it very clear to Spider Daddy that I ain't gonna lie. That was too much for me, because he asked me, he was like, well, did you enjoy, spending time with my kid? And I ain't gonna lie, I do love kids. Best friend love the kids. But we're not talking about best friend love the kids. We're talking about best friend legit potentially being the stepmother of a kid if it worked out with us. And I'm gonna be honest with you. At this point in time, I just didn't have any patience with kids. I was 22, 23 at the time. I couldn't see myself having any children at that time. And I'm gonna be honest with you, it just was not for me. And I did not want to waste his time or even lie to the man to be like, you know what? I think this is something I can handle. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, I would have been lying to him and wasting his time. So I was honest with him. I wasn't ready to date a man that had children. And I'm gonna be honest with you, that was a lesson for me that said I have to steer away from people or men that have children. I can't do it. Now, a lot of people can't be honest. A lot of people don't know how to be honest. And I thought it would be super wrong for the dad and little Spider Buddy for me to sit there and act like I wanted to be around. And I'm be honest with you, I was clubbing every weekend. I was doing my own thing. Like, I was really doing my own thing. I was really outside. So, and I ain't gonna lie, I do feel like little Spider Buddy did deserve somebody better than me, you know what I'm saying? And I was only wanting to be with daddy for one reason. I'm gonna be honest with you. And that's what it was. And then, so me and Spider Daddy, maybe 6 months later, we stopped, talking. I was okay with it. But that goes back to this. If you are someone and you run across someone like a man or a woman who have children, and you know darn well that you cannot offer them or be emotionally available to the children if it came to it, or you don't have the patience of maybe possibly putting their children first, be 100 about it. And sometimes you can work through it. Like my stepfather, took on my mom with 3 children, you know what I'm saying? And I ain't gonna lie, like, it wasn't easy for him. It wasn't like he walked in to my mom's situation and it was roses and lilies. Like, it was complicated. Like, we were some bad kids. And shout out to my stepfather who stuck in there. Like, he stuck in there. And not every man can stick in there and honestly have an amazing outcome. And like I said, it is difficult. Not only is it difficult for the parents, but it's difficult for the children. But I'm going to say this. If you are a single mom, if you are a single dad, even if your child's father is helping you, even if your child mother is helping you, but like I said, you have your children majority of the time. And the reason why you haven't got yourself out there is because you feel like your children deserves all your time, and you feel like putting your children first is super important. I agree with you 100%. But I'm going to say this. Do not neglect yourself. Do not neglect the fact of mama got to have a life too. We all seen Baby Boy, hello? And what did she tell Jody? Mama got to have a life too. I didn't understand what that meant because my life was my kid. But what I realized as my daughter got older is my daughter want to see me go out and have fun. My daughter want to see me potentially maybe fall in love with somebody. Like, just she wants to see this. As long as she knows that mom love her, that I'm not taking nothing away from her, she's good with that. And I feel like any man that comes in my life would know how important my kid is. But I'm going to tell you this. If you're dating someone and they see you interact with your child, or they see how you talk about your child, I guarantee you they're already going to know what type of mother you are. They're already going to know what type of father you are. For an example, I was dating this guy. And once again, the guy from the last, let's talk. Let's talk about it. The guy with the 4 children. And one thing I did love about him that drew me to him more than anything was that he loved his children. Like, he was all about his children. I remember when me and him had a talk about even potentially being together, he made it very clear that, hey, if me and you were to progress, I would go from 4 children to 5. I like the fact that he even considered my kid to even potentially one day being his own. that was a good thing. And that's what drew me to him. Because you want a man or a woman to look at your child as being a bonus. Like I said, your child is a bonus. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know. Like I said, if you are not really into dating women with children, just say that. Just be honest. You feel me? But I'm going to tell you this too. When you're dating a woman with children or a man with children, just know, don't try to rush into the relationship and being like their daddy. Like, I'm going to be honest with you. Like, my child's father is A1 when it comes to my baby. So, I don't need, y'all say hi to Mr. and Lady. Say hi. I don't need no man to come in my life and try to play, Superman or be daddy to my kid. Like, my kid has a father. You know what I'm saying, that is involved. And I know that's not everybody's case, which does put pressure on the person coming in. So let's say there was a man and he came into Keisha's life, right? Say Keisha. And Keisha had 3 children and her kid's father was not in their life. I'm going to be honest with you, it would make it extremely hard for the man coming in because he is taking on sole responsibility of the household. And yes, him going from 0 kids to 3 kids overnight and taking care of somebody else's responsibility, I'm pretty sure that would be hard and difficult. That would be hard and difficult for me. I'm going to be honest with you. But I also feel like if you're in my situation where the dad is present or the dad is helping out or the dad is extremely supportive in the kid's life, then once again, that's one less thing that you have to deal with, right? All I ask for, if you are in my life, if you want to be in my life, I don't want you to be my child's daddy. She has one. I just want you to focus on being her friend. Like, that is more than anything. One thing about my stepfather, it was not rushed on me for him to be my dad. I didn't call my stepfather daddy, dad, papa. I didn't call him none of them little stupid nicknames when I first met him. I didn't call him that. I called him his name. It was my daddy. You know what I'm saying? And that was my mama's husband. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I looked at it, and that's how they presented it, and that's what it was. I mean, it wasn't until over the years, because it was not pushed on me or forced on me or my sisters, that over the years, my sisters that were not biologically kin to him, we did start calling him dad and pops. And because he earned it, right? My stepfather wasn't perfect, but he earned it because he stuck it out. He was there for us. He, went to my dance recitals. And he understood that we were a package, even though he should have ran like hell, because we did put him through some, it wasn't easy, let's just say that. But I'm happy that he stuck out there because he was a prime example of what I look for when I am dating. I want a man who's going to come into the situation knowing that it's not going to be easy, all the time, but that is willing to be an addition to my household and be a friend to my kid, and understand that I don't need you to come to my house and be Superman. Like, I got that. I just need you when I am taking care of my child. I need you to take care of mama. Take care of mama, because mama got needs. Baby got needs. I got baby needs. Mama got needs. And that's your job, to make sure all my needs is taken care of, little daddy. So shout out to all the amazing men that are taking care of their kids by yourself. And even if you got help, shout out to you. Shout out for all the daddies in here that even if you don't have your children, you are taking care of them and you are still making time for your children, even when you're dating. Shout out to y'all. But big shout out. Whoop, whoop. Big shout out to all the baby mamas, mamas, little mamas, big mamas. Shout out to all y'all. Say, I don't call myself a baby mama. I'm the mother of his child. We don't use that baby mama, baby daddy thing around here because that's not what I am. Hello. But shout out to you guys for being amazing moms, amazing dads, and putting your kids first. Just do not get caught in always putting your kids so much in front of all your needs that you lose yourself. You look in the mirror and you gain weight and you don't recognize yourself. Because what happens when your kids get out the house? Then what's going to happen? You're going to lose yourself so much that you have nothing to fall back on. Mind you, when you're happy, your kids are happy. Remember that. And when your kids are happy, you're happy. And dating is something that you should not put on the back burner because you feel like you don't have time for it. Right? Go on a date once a month, every other month. Right? You deserve love. You deserve to find love. If it didn't work with your child's mother or your child's father, then you don't have to sit there and wait in the back burner and wait for someone to love you when they're turned 18, 19, years old. You can honestly go on dating sites, go to lounges, church. Nah, stay away from church because it'd be. Anyways, no, go to church. Yeah, go to church. I don't judge because there's some heathens in the church and and dating somebody. Anyway, that's a different story for a different day because I dated somebody in the church and he was as bad as dating somebody that was a club. But anyways, different story for a different day. Hello, baby. Now look, once again, there's plenty of men out there that will take the time and date any amazing woman, whether you have, like I said, whether you have 1 kid, 2 kids, whatever. Sometimes you run across a man who don't have any children, and maybe he doesn't want to take on the responsibility of another man's child, and that's fine. But he may have another man legit that doesn't have any children, or have 2 or 3 children, and he's willing to accept your children as his own. He's not going to see your kids as being a disadvantage, you know what I'm saying, or a handicap for his life. He's going to see your children as being an advantage, just extra bonus kids for him to love and appreciate. So don't not date because you feel like ain't no man gonna date me because I got all these kids. Ain't no man gonna accept me because I got a baby. You know what I'm saying? I might as well just be by myself because ain't no man gonna take me and my baby. Yes, they will. You know what I'm saying? Yes, they will. And the person that tell you that they won't, screw them, right? Because there's many people out there that will gladly love you and your kid. And so don't let that be the reason why you don't put yourself out there and accept the love that someone has to give you, right? But also too, when you are dating, understand that constantly remind your kid how much you love them and appreciate them, and that they can always be open and honest with you. Having like that line of communication with your kids, letting your kids know, hey, I am dating. However, me dating doesn't mean that I don't love you. Me dating or giving someone time doesn't mean that they're going to get all of my time. But it just means that mommy or daddy legit is, want to go out and enjoy themselves. And like I said, just explain it to your children that they mean the world to you, especially if you dating is new to your children. I definitely think talking with your child will make them be a lot more comfortable in mommy wanting to date again or daddy wanting to date, especially when you are not dating their mother or their father. They're going to be looking at you, Mom, what are you doing? You ain't dating daddy. And daddy, what are you doing? You are not dating mommy. And, but like I said, have that communication with your children. Don't beat yourself up because you want to find love, you know what I'm saying? And just know that you got this. And I am honestly proof that you can date someone who secretly doesn't like your kid and lose yourself because you don't want to lose him, and maybe dampering and maybe not communicating with your kid and maybe understanding how she feels about that situation. And then it's not until I leave that situation and my daughter's like, yeah, no, Mom, I hated that situation. He was weird, da da da. And I wish that I would have known this sooner, but the reason why she didn't tell me is because she wanted me to be happy. But having that communication, that line of communication with your kid, so that way they know, because your kid's opinion when you are dating is important. Now, back in the days when we were growing up, your mom and your daddy said, your opinion don't matter. Well, my kid opinion, my daughter's opinion matters. And I'm not saying it matters to the point where, like, let's say if I was madly in love with somebody and she didn't like them. Like, honestly, I want to know why. Like, I want to know why she doesn't like them. But my daughter's opinion does matter. And could it be a deal breaker? It could be a deal breaker. Because not only is this man signing up for me to be in his life, not only is the man signing up to be in my life, but the man is also signing up to be in my kid's life, because like I said, we are a package. Just like if I were to date a guy who had children, it's a package. And just know, if a person's not willing to sign, seal, and deliver on the dotted line and accept you and your child or your children or whatever, like, you gotta do what you gotta do. But make sure that communication is always open with you and your children when it comes to who you are dating, so that way you are aware, right, and you can act accordingly. Other than that, like I said, I definitely appreciate you guys for liking my last video. This is episode 2, y'all. And let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Now, we had an opportunity to talk about dating with children. And the funny thing about it is, a lot of you guys are going through a lot of these situations. And you have to honestly, like I said, not beat yourself up if you want to date. Because once again, when you're happy, your children is happy. And if you're dating someone and you are happy with that person, your child is going to be, they're going to be happy too. But thank y'all for chatting with me. Make sure y'all tell a friend to tell a friend to tell your friend. And if you know somebody who needs to hear this video, make sure you share it with them. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my video. And I appreciate you, and I love y'all so much. Thank y'all for holding me down. We almost at 1,000 subscriptions. I love you, baby. And remember, it starts with you. You amazing. And remember that. I wanna ride.